The former actor and now mathematics and physics researcher Terence Howard dedicated himself to investigating a secret of 6,000 years that has baffled humanity for millennia through its surprising perspectives that defy conventional understanding of geometry. He invites us to reconsider the very structure of reality, but first let me explain a bit more about it. I want you to know a secret of 6,000 years. For 6,000 years, humanity has been trying to unravel this little thing called the flower of life. Are you familiar with the flower of life? Have you seen it before? Now you know that this is one of the oldest symbols in human history. This symbol was found in the Temple of Osiris in Egypt, molecularly burned into the wall, and is 6,000 years old. The same symbol was found in forbidden temples in China under the paws of the Fu dogs, and they placed the flower of life there, saying that whoever controlled that flower of life controlled the universe. There were secrets in this flower of life that Da Vinci spent his entire life secretly trying to discover. There were secrets in this flower of life that Newton spent his entire life secretly trying to discover. Secretly the same secrets that Pythagoras desperately tried to uncover. But the problem is they kept seeing it in a two-dimensional space. They couldn't take it out of this two-dimensional frame, and as a result, they remained stuck in this flat plane, a flat plane. Now what Da Vinci and all of them wanted to do was trying to find a way to bring this flower to life. But what's inside it? Well, apparently there were secrets inside it. The forms gave it a curve and all those other things outside it, but they were deceived by something I think is called a straight line. Do you believe in straight lines? Well, let me tell you something. All the energy of the universe is expressed in what is in motion. If something is still, there is no kinetic energy, right? All movement is expressed in what? See, galaxies are expressed in straight lines. They are expressed in vortexes. All vortexes are expressed in waves, and all waves are curved. Show me a straight line in nature. Show me where the platonic solids come from. Where do they have their bases? In our universe, there are straight lines. If you look at anything, you won't see straight lines. That was the mistake. We were always observing these straight lines in the Euclidean way of thinking and ignoring the curvature of nature. So here we are back with the curvature of nature, and we have all these little pieces. This has always been an information system. When we compare some of these points, what is the space between all these things? If this is the Earth and this is the Moon, well, all this space in between is filled with what? A void. There's nothing in the void. Well, I found that there's something in the void, the fundamental elementary particles they were looking for at CERN, the color hadrons. I found that their energy signatures perfectly matched some of the pieces I managed to extract from here. Howard's words are not mere speculations. They are supported by a framework that intertwines historical, scientific, and philosophical contexts. This discourse goes beyond superficiality, immersing them in a world where illustrious minds like Leonardo da Vinci, Newton, and Pythagoras converge in the discovery of the flower of life. Everything in nature, from the shell of a snail to the movement of planets, responds to a geometric pattern, from which different geometric archetypes have been recognized, and one of them is the flower of life. We can find it in nature in beehives, cellular arrangements, the peel of some fruits, or on the surfaces of certain flowers like the rose and the lily, presenting petals arranged in shapes that evoke this geometric figure. It is also evident in the arrangement of plant leaves, such as the artichoke or certain ferns, and in the seashells. The flower of life is a hexagonal geometric figure surrounded by two circles, composed of 19 small circles, all of the same diameter, and 36 circular arcs. The 19 circles create symmetrical radial patterns that resemble flowers. In ancient times, this design was known to civilizations and cultures that used it for decoration and ornamentation. The flower of life has been found in countries as distant and diverse as Spain, Scotland, Austria, France, Turkey, Israel, India, Mexico, and also in China, on the balls upon which the paws of the guardian lions rest at the entrance of the Forbidden City in Beijing, and in Egypt in the Temple of Osiris. Its name comes from its resemblance to a flower, and because it precisely represents the cycle of a fruit-bearing tree and its metamorphosis that occurs in 5 steps. From the tree to the flower, from the flower to the fruit, from the fruit to the seed, and from the seed back to the tree. Nature is always in this constant circular cycle. In this sense, the flower of life represents the origin of things, and at the same time, the indissoluble connection between all things. The flower of life is the sacred image of the unity of the cosmos, the matrix from which everything is born and to which everything returns. According to a prominent figure in sacred geometry and esoteric research named Drunvalo Melchizedek, this symbol contains within its proportions every mathematical formula, every law of physics, every harmony of music, and every form of biological life, including your specific body. It contains every atom, every dimensional level. Absolutely everything contained in the universe is in waveform. But the most astonishing aspect is that it is found in the geometry of human DNA. Recently, photos of the cross-section of human DNA were taken with a scanning electron microscope, where we can observe in cell division every circle or cell that multiplies, giving rise to a shape similar to the flower of life, symbolizing both creation and growth that occur naturally in nature and in man. Moreover, the flower of life contains other sacred symbols, such as the seed of life, the egg of life, as well as the fruit of life and the Metatron's cube. Going back to the past, Da Vinci in the Renaissance delved into exhaustive studies on this fascinating form, captivated by its perfect geometry and its potential to reveal cosmic secrets. Newton, in his quest to understand gravity and the mechanics of the cosmos, explored ancient knowledge and symbols, including the flower of life, suggesting that his discovery of gravity was part of a broader investigation. Pythagoras, the Greek mathematician, also explored these mystical realms, applying geometric principles to understand musical harmony and the structure of the universe. Although these brilliant minds found limitations in working with two-dimensional perspectives, Howard's critique of traditional geometry opens a new path for understanding. Euclid's geometry, fundamental in much of our mathematical and scientific understanding, focuses on two-dimensional planes. However, the universe is not confined to the plane. It is a dance of waves, curves, and multidimensional shapes. The symbol of the flower of life reveals itself as a gateway that encourages us to explore further the understanding of the inherent curvature in nature. Observing the spirals of galaxies or the intricate patterns of seashells, we realize that there are no straight lines, but rather elegant curves. This phenomenon carries profound implications, suggesting that the universe is not limited only to the realms of the planar and linear, but extends into dimensions that our ancestors may have intended to convey through symbols like the flower of life. This message resonates remarkably with contemporary scientific understanding of the universe. The essential concept of the curved space-time, central to Einstein's theory of relativity, reflects this ancient wisdom. The curvature of space and time around massive objects such as stars and galaxies is not merely theoretical, but can be directly observed. The bending of light around these massive objects, known as gravitational lenses, serves as tangible evidence of the inherently curved nature of the universe. Terence Howard's ideas note similarities in quantum physics, where the nature of elementary particles indexes their existence in probabilities rather than defined positions. This is consistent with the notion of a universe that goes beyond straight lines and predictable trajectories. Howard's theory on discovering something in the vacuum becomes intriguing. suggesting that the perceived emptiness, space devoid of content, could be saturated with fundamental particles and the invisible threads weaving the structure of the universe. The flower of life, with its 6,000 years, is not just an ancestral symbol, but a representation of its deepest secrets, transcending millennia and uniting ancient wisdom with contemporary scientific understanding. I spent 45 years searching for these things, trying to figure out how the universe really worked. We discovered that the universe is abandoning the standard model, replacing ideas of black holes and dark matter with an electric model of the universe different from the one Euclidean thinking has kept us so confined to. Countless documents of Da Vinci working throughout his life and attempting to unravel, but in every example we see him drawing straight lines and trying to make these straight lines curve. Thus, he was never able to do it because the entire universe is curved and all space is curved. As a result of what I was doing while trying to find these straight lines, I abandoned the idea of a straight line. The shortest distance between 2 points is curved space because you cannot force your way straight through space. Regarding electricity, when passing from a south plane to a north plane, it always goes in the northeast direction. Magnetism, when expanding, goes in the southwest direction, and that is the turning point. That's how we always know if it's magnetism or electricity. Trying to define spaces allowed me to see that all these intermediaries we have dealt with are these petals. All of humanity has focused on these petals, but we have ignored these other forms. From the exploration of energy and motion, we embarked on a journey to decipher the hidden language of the universe, articulated not in straight lines, but in dynamic patterns and incessant motion. In modern physics, the concepts of energy and motion are not interpreted as simple linear trajectories, but as complex interactions of forces and fields. At the center of this journey is the fundamental principle that all energy in the universe is in a state of perpetual motion, manifesting in vortices, waves, and spirals instead of straight lines. Galaxies, the helical structure of DNA, and hurricanes exhibit spiral and cyclical patterns aligned with Howard's vision of a universal pattern of movement and energy. The wave-particle duality of quantum mechanics, which considers particles as discrete entities and probabilistic waves, reinforces this non-linear perspective that challenges our conventional understanding of motion and trajectory. It proposes that at a fundamental level, the universe is expressed in probabilities and patterns that are not directly categorized. If we make observations of natural things, understanding natural as matter where humans have never directly acted, we will see that they all rely on curved lines. At the macroscopic level, nothing completely straight and natural will be observed simultaneously. From the majestic vastness of rivers to the delicate undulation of a fern's frond, nature is full of curves and spirals. These patterns are not arbitrary, but follow mathematical principles such as fractal geometry and the Fibonacci sequence. The discovery of fractal geometry just 50 years ago allowed us to mathematically explore the irregularities of nature in many of its forms. From clouds floating in the sky to the branches of a fern in the forest or the natural tributaries of a river, fractals appear in all forms of nature, almost as if they were hidden in plain sight, but revealing their fascinating patterns to all those who dare to look closer. These are infinite figures, geometric shapes whose forms repeat endlessly and, although it may not seem so, are present in virtually every aspect of our environment. The Fibonacci sequence, another mathematical pattern, is an infinite sequence of natural numbers first described by the Italian mathematician Fibonacci in the 11th century. This numerical series begins with 0 and 1, continuing with the sum of the two preceding numbers to infinity. The Fibonacci sequence is part of various systems, including nature. For example, it is found in the arrangement of tree branches, flower petals, and leaves on a stem, with the sunflower being the most accurate example. Each of the Fibonacci numbers is close to the so-called golden ratio, representing natural geometric perfection. By recognizing the curved and recursive patterns that govern the natural world, we better understand the essence of the universe. These patterns are not mere coincidences, but reflect deeper universal principles governing the growth, structure, and movement of the entire cosmos. On the other hand, we encounter another concept that further challenges our conventional understanding of mathematics and its application to the physical world: mathematical loops. This idea, exemplified by the looping behavior of the square root of 2, reveals an unexpected and seemingly paradoxical nature of mathematical operations in our world. Exploring these loops points to the possibility of our mathematics evolving similarly to how architecture and aerodynamics have adapted to the three-dimensional world. This would imply the adoption of seemingly illogical concepts like mathematical loops that integrate them into our broader understanding of the universe and its complexities. The Platonic solids, or regular polyhedra, are convex with faces composed of congruent polygons. Mathematician Euclid proved that there are exactly 5 of these solids: the tetrahedron, cube, octahedron, dodecahedron, and icosahedron. These geometric solids played a fundamental role in classical geometry and philosophy, representing the fundamental elements of fire, earth, air, water, and the cosmos. However, it raises the possibility that these iconic forms have unexplored dimensions, especially when viewed through the prisms of wave conjugation and mathematical loops. These perspectives align with quantum geometry, a growing field that challenges the traditional rules of Euclidean geometry, offering a more dynamic and complex understanding of shapes and structures at the quantum level. In the quantum realm, the behavior of particles and forces defies linear and flat explanations, adopting behaviors that find better explanation in concepts such as mathematical loops. Howard's proposal is not just a mathematical challenge, but an invitation to deeper philosophical and scientific reflection, demanding a comprehensive review of the fundamental principles guiding our understanding of reality. These approaches act as a catalyst for a broader conversation about the nature of reality, mathematics, and our perception of the universe, suggesting the possibility that it is much more complex and interconnected than imagined. Answers to the mysteries of the universe could be found in looped curves and multidimensional spaces in a new mathematical understanding. I'm looking forward to knowing what you thought of this video or any other feelings that resonated with you. If you have nothing to comment, write "Secrets of Infinity" to find out who is truly committed to living a more enlightened and purposeful life. Blessings to you until next time. Decipher cosmic secrets and turn your dreams into reality. Discover the language of the universe to attract wealth and abundance. Don't waste any more time. Click now on the first link in the pinned comment and live a prosperous life.